Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Astral Healing. I'm Colin. Today we're going on to part 2 of our Akashic Records series. Today I'm going to talk about what is an Akashic Record reading. So the first thing that I want to talk about when I talk about an Akashic reading is actually that all psychics, tarot readers, all of it, they're all tapping into the Akash. They're all tapping into the records. How much information they pull back, are you going all the way there? Is the records coming to you? It all depends on that person's gift and how you're accessing it. But it is my true belief that we're all accessing the same information in just different ways. What way is best for them? You're essentially translating information from a different language. Which brings me to my next point. Every reader is actually going to read the records a little differently. You can go to 3 record readings and each person has a gift in the records. And you might get slightly different information. The same meaning said in different ways. And that just has to do with it is coming through our filter. For me, I use a prayer. I use an Akashic Record prayer. And honestly, when it feels like is the whole room changes. The room gets a little more dense. The energy field is dense. And for the clients, I'm still present, but it's like the information can just flow through. I get it in audio, visual, feelings, all the above. Once we're in the records, depending on the person's question, allows us to, really go through the internet or go through the library and really kind of flip through and figure out what is that person working on. For me, I like to work in the now. What's going on for you now? Everybody wants to know about past lives and, all the cool stuff, which do come up in the records. But for me, I really try to stay in a heart place, and I want to help you heal. I want to help you grow. And with that, it's in the now. What do you need to work on? It's coming up for you right now. Let's say you and this certain person are always fighting, and you can't figure out why. That's happening in the now. Let's talk about it. Oh man, it actually turns out in some past lives, you two have been fighting for years. You just gotta love them for where they're at. What's your stuff? What's their stuff? What are you trying to teach each other, right? All of this stuff happens in the now. There's one other thing I'd like to talk about when I talk about what is an Akashic Record reading. In my experience, a lot of what happens in the records isn't actually quantified by the mind. It's an energetic place. All that needs to happen is a little energetic shift. So me and you can be talking about something, and your guides are giving you information, and you're like, I don't really get it. But you you just accept the information, and then 3 weeks later, boom, it hits you. Something happens. And normally you would have this reaction, and you don't have that reaction, and you have the aha moment. The aha moment. Your mind didn't need to understand. Energetically, you shifted. So when you go into records, it's honestly a lot about just the energetic shifts that happen. The mind wants to know this cool information, but at least when I do a reading, all I want the person is just to sit in the records for an hour. We could just sit there. And you could tell your story and you will grow, right? Obviously there's questions and back and forth, and that really helps make the growing process easier. But sitting in an Akashic Record reading is all about the energetic shifts. And you will get that as soon as the person doing your reading opens the records. So Colin, if everybody has access to the Akashic Records, why would I get a reading from you? I want you to learn how to read the records. You have the ability to read the records. The Akashic Records is a lot like the internet. It would take a lot of time and understanding to get our mind to get it. The Akashic Records is something that we cannot fully understand with our mind. It's about feeling it. Can you feel it? Does it feel right for you? Does it feel like love? Right? If the answer is yes, then that's truth for you. Right? I'm going to say that again. It's something beyond what your mind can understand. When we start to think of the vastness of space, your mind literally, it breaks my mind when I start thinking about how big space truly is. The Akashic Records is the same way. Let the mind go, let the heart guide. And I could see somebody walking around in the dark, right? They're bumping into walls, they can't find the door. And then somebody comes along with a flashlight and they point it at the wall. Now you can go around the wall, you can climb over the wall, you can go through the wall. But before that flashlight, you did not know that the wall was even there. An Akashic record reading can help you see the wall. This is just one example of many that I got while in the Akashic Records. If you are thinking about getting a reading, do it. Jump off the cliff. I will tell you that I have had many clients tell me that they get nervous before reading. I find that anytime that we do emotional work, it's a little nervous. It makes us a little nervous. It gives us the little butterflies. You just got to run off the cliff of emotions. Book the session. In my experience, nothing bad has ever come from an Akashic record reading. The only thing I've got to witness is beautiful growth. I hope that answered some of your questions of what is an Akashic reading and should I get an Akashic reading? I want to really thank you. If you're interested in getting an Akashic reading, I do Akashic readings. You can go to my website at astralhealing.ca. Link is in the description. If you have listened to this video all the way, smash that subscribe button. We're going to have lots of awesome content coming your way. One of my next videos is going to be an Akashic record journey. Should be a lot of fun.